Hi everyone, good morning. I hope you're able to hear me.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So in the last session, we started talking about data combining. So in data combining, we have come across inner join to get only matching records between the two tables. And we have seen left join to get all records from left side table and matching records from other side table. Quite opposite to left join, we have a right join, which is used to get all records from right side table and matching records from other side. And full join is used to get all records from both of the tables that we have come across it. So now I'm just going to continue the same thing even, and I have a requirement in order to show the channel name and sales amount. So this data is available in the database called Contoso Retail DW. We already know this was restored in the last sessions. I mean, in the beginning of SQL, we have installed and we restored this database. If you have this database, then only can do this practice. I'm just going to take you through that now. Just try to understand. Now I'm there in the Contoso Retail DW. When you execute these two statements, you can find where exactly this channel name is available and where exactly the sales amount is available. Where exactly channel name is available and sales amount is available, it is going to show you. Let's execute it. Now you can see in this particular case, the top table is fact sales and bottom table is dim channel table. So my requirement is demanding to show the data in the output is channel name. So channel name is available here. And then sales amount. Sales amount is not coming from the same channel table, I mean dim channel table. It is coming from somewhere else. This is the sales amount. And this is the channel name. That means data is not coming from the single table. Data is coming from more than one table. When the data is coming from more than one table, keep in mind there is a data combining. Now we understand that there is a data combining. Now what you have to do is, you have to bring the data from these two tables by joining. By joining, you have to do it. Now let me show you how we are going to write it. So this fact table, we are going to write first table and dim channel table will be the second table. So whatever the table is having more number of records, that table you have to write first. So I'm just going to write in that way. Select from fact sales table as F. Inner join and dim channel as C on F dot channel key. So there should be a common column between the two tables. F dot channel key and C dot channel key. F dot channel key and C dot channel key. You can see here there is a common column between these two tables. So whenever you wanted to take the data from the two tables, you have to identify what is the common column. This common column should have a same kind of data. Same kind of data is available. So as we're having same kind of data, we can use this as a common column. I'm going to use this one to join the two tables. This is a join condition. Now I wanted to take the data from these tables. So channel name is required. Channel name is coming from the C, that means dim channel. C dot channel name, comma, F dot sales amount. Now let's execute it. So this is also is a join only. But if you clearly observe the result of this channel sales by channel name, I have a store here I have a store, and I have a online, and here also I have a online, something like this. We are not supposed to show multiple times with the same value. You have to consolidate and show it as a single value. You have to show only single online. So that means you have to add the value of this, fourth and fifth records values, and eight and nine records. So wherever there is a online, we need to summarize. So in order to summarize, if you have a data like this, if you wanted to summarize the data, then we need to use the functions called aggregate functions. We are going to use the functions called aggregate functions. So here, to avoid repeated values, we need to go for data aggregations with aggregate functions. Now we need to know about this aggregate functions here. Aggregate functions are used to aggregate the data with the following functions. And these functions are very, very, very important even in the Power BI. Wherever you go, wherever you're going to do a data aggregation from leaf level to little higher level, then definitely we are going to use aggregate functions. So you can feel that when we are getting a requirement, or when we get a requirement, you can understand whether we need to go with data aggregation or not. The requirement will help you to make you understand. And in the requirement, they don't say apply a data aggregation, something like that. You can feel when you have a data, when you see the data, you can feel we can go for data aggregation. The very first function and very important function, even in the Power BI, that is sum function. Without asking a question, without asking the sum in Power BI, we don't finish any interview. So sum is very, very important. Sum and number I'm passing. So you can pass the number. All these functions are the number functions, basically. Okay, so since we are going to aggregate it, we are calling them as an aggregate functions, but we are going to pass numbers inside these functions mostly. So sum of number, it is used to summarize the data. It allows you to pass number. We are passing the number inside this function, and the return type of this function is number only. So when you give a number, it gives a number back to you. So that is about the sum function. Just observe here. I have some use cases. Write a SQL statement to get the total salary of employees. Let's go to the employee database, that is sales underscore DB. Let's execute it. Now I wanted to say select from employee. From here, I wanted to see salary. Just select salary from employee. Not showing the salary values here. But my requirement is total salary. That means you have to add each and every salary and show as a single value. I wanted to show as a single value. So what you have to do is you have to use sum of, just close this brace, as salary. Now let's re-execute again. Now you can see a single value here. So sum function is used to add all the values of a column. So what are the column you're passing? The values of this column is going to be added, and it gives a total record. So that is the sum here. And write a SQL statement to get the total number of employees. My requirement is to get the total number of employees. How many employees are there? Total employees. To get this total employees, which function we have to use it? I wanted to count of every employee. So you need to use the function called count function. Count. Inside the count, you can pass the star or you can pass the column name. You can pass the star or you can pass the column name. It is used to get the count of rows. The count function is used to get the count of rows in a table. Count of rows in a table, or when you pass the star, it gives the count of rows in a table. And if you pass the name of the column, it returns non-empty values. So it is going to count the non-empty values and it is going to give the value to you. So when it is going to give a non-empty values count is when you pass the name of the column. If you pass the name of the column, then you're going to get non-empty values. And if you pass the star, it is going to give the number of rows in a table. So my requirement is showing I wanted to get the total number of employees. So I'm just going to write something like this. Select from employee. Count of star as count. Let's execute it. You can see here. I can also give count of employee number as count 2. So both will give the same result because this is not having any blanks. Blanks are not available for this column, so it is giving exactly the same count. Now in the bottom use case, you can see write a SQL statement to get the total number of employees only if they are eligible for commission. If these persons are eligible for commission, then I wanted to count it. So we have two different approaches in order to do this. For all eligible for commission, I wanted to see how many employees are eligible for commission. That is what my requirement. Approach 1, select from employee. So from here, I'm just going to take count of star as count. So I can apply a filter here where commission is null. Sorry, commission is not null. Commission is not null. Just see before that. Just observe the data, how data is there. So this is the employee table. So I wanted to see how many people are getting commission. I wanted to see the total employees who are eligible for commission. So that means this person is eligible, this person is eligible, this person is eligible, but this person is not eligible. So we need to take out it. So to take out it, we can use commission is not null. Now if I apply the filter and take the count, if I don't apply this filter, you can see the 12. But if you apply the filter for where commission is not null, then you can see 4 employees are eligible for commission. The approach 2, I'm just going to show you how we can do it. Select from employee. Count of commission as count. Now let's re-execute this also here. You can see the same result. When you pass the column name, if the column name is having a nulls, if the column is having a nulls, those nulls will be ignored. That is what I'm saying here. It returns non-empty values count. if you pass the name of the column. So that is about count function. Write a SQL statement to get the total number of jobs. How many types of jobs or how many jobs are available in the employee table or in the organization? So if you want to get it, then what you have to do is you have to count it. So to count it, you can see I'm just going to use select from employee, count of job as job count. Let's execute it. Now you can see 12. We don't have a 12 jobs. We have a 12 employees. So in order to do this, we need to apply a distinct because there is a multiple repeated values are there for job. So if you write just count of star or count of column name, it gives just count. And if you want to get a distinct count inside the count function, you have to pass the distinct. It is supposed to get distinct count from the table. So if you want to get a distinct count, then you can go for this option. So I mean, here you have to write a distinct. Now let's execute it. You can see there are 4 different jobs are available. Write a SQL statement to get the total salary, total number of employees, and their average salary also. We know already how we can get the total salary by using this. We can get the sum, we can use the sum function to get it. And total employees that we can get with the help of count function. And average salary. By using this, we can get average salary. We can get the average salary by using this. So let me show you how exactly we are going to do it. Select from employee, sum of salary as salary, count of star as e count. So in order to get the average salary, we have a function called AVG. We have a function called AVG. It is used to get average or arithmetic mean of a column. So whatever the column you are passing here, for that column, it is going to give a arithmetic mean or average of the column. So I'm just going to say comma here, AVG of salary as AVG salary. Let's execute it. Now you can see the result here. So we are able to say total salary, total number of employees, and average salary. And write a SQL statement to get the minimum salary and maximum salary. So I wanted to say what is the minimum salary and what is the max salary. So in order to get the minimum salary, we have a min function to get the minimum value, and we have a max function to get the max value. So when you're getting a minimum, you can get minimum number and minimum date also. Both are possible. By using this function, we can get the minimum date or we can get the minimum number. By using the max function, we can get the max value and we can get the max number. So both are going to be possible. So for that, we have this function, min of column name. It is used to get minimum value of a column. Max is, it is used to get max value of a column. Select from employee. Min salary, min of salary as min salary. Max of salary as max salary. Let's execute it. So minimum is 800 is there. Max is 500 is there. So 5000 is there. And the next is the way we get minimum number and max number from the salary. I wanted to get from the date also. Let's write here. Select from employee. Min of hire date as min date. Max of hire date as max date. Now you can see. So what is the minimum date and what is the maximum date it is showing? The next use case is write a SQL statement to get the total salaries by department number. By department number, I wanted to do it. By department number, I wanted to see. So that means department wise, I wanted to see, department number wise, I wanted to see the total salary. Select from employee. So in order to get the total salary, you can use the sum function, and inside the sum function, you can pass salary as salary. So this is going to give a total salary, but I don't need a total salary. I need this salary should be, the salary should be distributed by your department. So in order to do that, if you want to distribute your total values, then definitely you have to use a group by clause. A group by is required to use it. So inside the group by, we have a list of columns here. So inside the group by, you have to specify the list of columns. So the group by is used to group the data. We can use this along with the aggregate functions. So if you wanted to distribute or if you wanted to group the data, then definitely you have to use aggregate function as well as group by class. So this group by is always going to be there with the help with the aggregate functions. If there is a normal column along with the aggregated columns, then make sure to have your group by class with the normal columns. So let me show you practically, then you can understand about it. Now I wanted to split this data by department number. Then what you have to do is in the group by department number. You have to specify in the group by department number. Department number wise, I wanted to see the data. So I'm able to split is because I have a group by department number, but I don't know what is the department number for this 6250 and for every value. So what you have to do is whatever the columns are available in the group by, that columns we have to keep in the select list. You have to keep in the select list. Now, this is an aggregated column. Why it is an aggregated column is we are using the sum function. So because of that reason, it is an aggregated column. And This column, department number, is a normal column. This is a normal column. And this is a aggregated column. When you have a normal column along with the aggregated column in the select list, all the normal columns you have to keep in the group by class. That is 100% is required. Whatever the columns are there along with the aggregated columns in the select list, those columns should be there in the group by class. Now, if I execute it, you can say department wise total salary. Department wise total salary we are having. Write a SQL statement to get total salaries by job. Same to same, but I wanted to do with the job. Select from employee and we have to specify job and sum of salary as salary. So this is the normal column. That normal column should be there in the group by class. Now if you execute it, it is going to show you the data by job. So job wise total salary values are getting changed. And department wise total salary is different because the granularity is getting changed here. Now the granularity is job. At job level, I wanted to see the data. At department level, I wanted to see the data. So whatever the level that you wanted to see the data, that level we can call it as a granularity of that particular data. So here the least level of granularity here is job. Write a SQL statement to get total salary by year. Select from employee. I'm just taking a star and show you first employee table. I have a salary column. We know we are going to apply sum of salary for this. By year, I do not have a year column inside this table. No year column. No year column available in this table. So if we have this kind of situations, then how you're going to handle is you have to define the year from this higher date. I have a higher date column which is having a date, So I wanted to define a year. I wanted to define the year from this higher date. So to define the year from this higher date, how we can do is, if you remember in the last session, we talked about the function called year function. So by passing this higher date into this year column, year function, we can get the year from the higher date. Just observe how we are going to do it. Sum of salary. First, let's take the salary. Let's take the higher date and then salary. Only these two columns. Now from here, I wanted to get the year. To get the year of higher date as year. Let's execute this entire thing. You can see here. This 2022 is coming from this date. 2023 is coming from this date. You can see here 2023. I don't need this column. I need only year column. So just take out this from here. Now let's execute again. and see the result. But I wanted to summarize it because it is having a repeated value. Whenever you are having a repeated value, then you can go for data aggregation. Now I'm just going to say sum of salary as salary. If I execute now, it will say you are not having a group by class. Invalid in the select list because it is not contained in either aggregate function or in the group by class. So this particular column, this year column should be there in the group by class. So you may write something like this, but this is wrong. You are not supposed to have this year something like this. After grouping, then this alias name will come. So what you have to do is you have to write this entire expression in the group by class. Now this is going to give a correct result. So 2021, this is the value, 2022, this is the value, 2023, this is the value. Like this, we have to define. Is everyone clear as of now? Any question?
No, sir.
Perfect. Let's move on to the little different approach in order to write a SQL code. So this approach is very, very important when you're preparing, when you're taking data from the databases. This kind of approach is very, very common. Whatever you have written to get that year by salary by year, the same thing I wanted to do it in a different approach. Writing above statement by writing select in place of table name. I wanted to do it select in place of table name. I mean to say, in place of table name, I'm going to write one more select statement. One more select statement I'm going to apply. Just observe. Select star. Let me say something like this. Select year of hire date as year and salary. From employee table. So you're having a data is like this. Now I'm having year and salary. Year and salary. Okay, so these values I wanted to give to another select statement. This entire thing is a table name. Okay, so just concentrate little more here because you may get little confusion. So on top of this, I wanted to write one more select statement. On top of this, I wanted to write one more select statement. You just observe here. Select year, comma, sum of salary as salary from, then bracket opens, bracket close. So what you're trying to take, you're trying to take the year from this place, salary from this place, and you're aggregating it. In place of the table name, you're writing one more select statement. And then group by, after table name, we are going to write a group by as we are having a sum in the outer query. Group by year. So here we need to give a alias name for the table. Just concentrate here again. Select column names from. Basically here you have to write a table name. You have to write a table name. In place of this table name, in place of this table name, you can write one more select statement. You can write one more select statement. For that particular statement, for that particular result, you can write one more select statement, and for that statement you can give a alias name for that. If you don't give a alias name for that result, for this result I wanted to give a alias name. That alias name is T. The alias name is T. Select year, sum of salary as salary from table name and group by year. So this is a subquery. Writing a inline query or subquery, we can call this, basically we used to call them as a inline query, writing a select statement in place of table name. But this approach is many places we're going to have at the time of working. And write a SQL statement to get the sales by channel key. By channel key I wanted to get it. Then what you have to do is select from. So this sales is available in the Contoso Retail DW, and channel key also is available in the Contoso Retail DW. Let me say use Contoso Retail DW, execute it. Now I'm having Contoso Retail DW, select, and I wanted to say select star from fact sales table. Let's execute it. So there are many columns are there. I wanted to take a channel key because channel key is there and sales amount is available to take as a sales. So as we're having too many records, it is taking longer time. So in real time, you're not supposed to write this kind of statements because it takes some time. If it is taking 10 minutes, 20 minutes, 30 minutes, or more than that, that's not the best practice. So you have to take top 10. Right after select, if you can write top 10, then after 10 records, it will come out of the execution. So that is always recommended to have it. So I'm just going to say top 10 star. Now let's cancel this. Now you can see how much time it is going to take. Let's wait. So there is a more 3 millions of the data is available in this table. So 3.4 millions are available. Let's execute it. Now you can see 10 records are available. 10 records are available. So after 10 records, it will come out of it. But my requirement is I wanted to have a channel key and sales. So if that is the case, then what you have to do is I'm just going to take channel key and sales amount as sales. Let's execute it. And here also, when you're not aggregating, just take top 10, something like that. Then you can see the channel key and this one. Okay, so but I wanted to show you how we can get, basically here we have discussed about it. Let me little go up. This is my main target that I wanted to show here. So when I execute this, these tables are available inside this database. So we have to keep it here. Let me execute again. So I'm getting something like this. So inside this table, I have a channel key. I'm just going to take a channel key and I wanted to summarize this value. Sum of sales amount as sales, and group by channel key, you have to take it as it is a normal column. Group by channel key. Let's execute it. Now you can see here channel key and sales. Channel key and sales I'm having. So this result I wanted to join with the dim channel table. This should go and join with what? Dim channel table. This will go on to join with the dim channel table. So if you want to join this data with the dim channel table, this entire thing we have to keep in a alias name. This entire thing we have to keep like that. So how I'm going to write here is, in place of writing select statement in place of table name, just observe, select from table name, I have to write it. So in place of table name, I'm just going to write this statement. This entire result is going to get as a table name. I'm just adjusting them for better readability. So select from table name. Table name is this entire thing. This entire result is this result is coming is because of this particular code. This entire thing is a table name. So for this, we have to give a alias names, any character that you can use to give a alias name. I just wanted to say T for this. And then select from T. Just observe. I'm just going to say T as T. So here I'm going to say star. Select star from table name. In place of table name, you're writing a select statement. This is very, very, very important. In many places, they're going to write like this. If they have a complex logic, this complex logic will be divided into pieces. Those pieces are going to write in a small pieces of select statement, and then they're going to join all together. So that is what I'm trying to do here. The same result is going to get if I execute. But I wanted to join this table with another table. So here, join, inner join, dim channel as C on T dot channel key equals to C dot channel key. T dot channel key, this is coming from this channel key is coming from the T table. So I'm just taking T dot channel key and C dot channel key. Now, if I execute this, so it is taking columns from the T. You can see channel key and sales is coming from the table T, and rest of all the columns are coming from the channel table. So I don't need all the columns. I wanted to take only from the C. I wanted to take channel name. From the T, I wanted to take sales. Let's execute it. Now you can see. This is going to improve the performance when you compare with this. This is not the best practice. And this is the best practice. After aggregating the data, the aggregated data is going to join with the dim channel table. But when you go here, after joining, it is going to do the aggregation. Somewhere here. Okay, so we can apply sum of group by. If we execute this, this is a normal approach. And you may not see much more difference when you, because we're having less volume of data. If you have a millions of records, then you can feel the difference. So this is the best approach to do it. So this is inline view or writing select statement in place of select statement. Any question with this?
No, sir.
And some practice is required, guys. So then only you can understand it. This is one type of approach to do it. There is another type of approach we're having, that is common table expressions. This is also is very, very important. 100% they're going to ask in the interview. Even if you go for Power BI developer. CTs. Common table expressions. So when we are going to use this common table expressions is, if you have too many blocks, or if you have a very complex logic, the complex logic will be divided into multiple pieces. The complex logic will be divided into multiple pieces. And for every piece, you can give a CTE. CTE1, CTE2, CTE3, something like that. And finally, you can take all the CTEs and you can write a statement. You can write final select statement. Final select statement, you can write it. So if you ask me, sometimes I go with this approach, sometimes I go with this approach. But in my current project in the data engineering, we are using CTE approach only. They specifically told, when you write any SQL code, you have to follow the CTE approach. Okay, so they may have some strategies, but we are using CTA approach only. But I came across in both of them in my previous projects very frequently. So you should know about both of the approaches. Some person may be interested to this approach and some person may be much more interested with this one. And there is a one more option, that is temporary tables. There is a one more, that is temporary tables. By using temporary tables also we can do it. By using temporary tables also we can do it. So why we need to go for temporary table? 100% they will ask. We always say it is, in order to handle your big complex logics, then why we need to go for temporary tables? Now, what is the difference between CT and temporary tables? So these questions will be there, and we are going to see these two concepts in the next session. Mostly this week we are going to complete our SQL, and then we are going to resume our Power BI sessions. Okay. Any questions before stopping?
No, sir.
No, Anna, so far good.
Okay, perfect then. Okay, so I have given one practice database in the classroom. Did you get a chance to restore in your systems?
Yes, sir.
Okay, I'll give today some exercises. You have to write a SQL code for that. Okay.
Okay, sir.
Okay, then I'll give this note also in the classroom today.
Yes, sir.
Okay, then thank you for joining. We'll see you tomorrow.